Okay.
I'm only here for the party. Trust me, we're just getting started. The sound, the vibe. I feel so alive. You're only here for the party.
Welcome back, and welcome Ankita and Chris. Take it away for us.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our last session of the day, night, morning, wherever you're located from. It's going to be all about TikTok trends and how to turn these viral moments into business results. So, I'm Kristina, the brand manager at Supermetrics, and I'd like to welcome our special guest for today, Ankita, the global product marketing lead from TikTok.
Thanks, Kristina, for the introduction. And it's a pleasure to be here presenting before you all today.
Amazing. I am so excited to have you here today, especially because we're going to be diving into one of the most hottest topics in marketing, TikTok trends. So we'll chat about what trends are on TikTok, and then we'll discuss how to leverage these trends to drive growth for your brand. So, Ankita, to start, could you give us a brief overview of how do you define a trend on TikTok?
Yes, for sure. So, trend is a nebulous word often used to describe like shifting definitions of what's popular or changing sales pattern among the users. On TikTok specifically, these are patterns of content or behavior that gain traction due to high engagement from our users, so which is often driven by popular hashtags, sounds, topics, or even creators themselves. These trends can shape what users engage with both online and offline the platform. And there are different ways which we internally define trends as. There are three types. The first being trend movements, which we also call as nano trends. The duration of these trends is very small, so it can be anywhere from like a few hours to a week or two, and requires a consistent engagement from the brand itself. They are very short and they are viral moments that spark very quickly and they fade out as fast as they engage they start out with. So brands need to really act very fast to capitalize on them while they're still hot. The second we have is trend signals. So the duration of these vary a little bit from like few months to up to 5 years or so. And the strategy involved here by the brands is to be their part in a way that it changes the marketing direction, and to make sure that they have a lasting impact. The result of these is like a big market shift that happens with small trend movements coming together, and it often requires brands to plan in advance for their campaigns. The third we have is trend forces. The duration of trend force is anywhere from like 3 to 10 years. So we're talking about a long duration here. And it is part of the brand's larger, broader brand and TikTok strategy as a whole. These are cultural shifts that are happening with trend signals, like the second trend converging and influencing people's values and interest. And it lasts like over a long period of time, and it is essential for like the strategy not just on TikTok but even beyond.
Awesome. I love that you mentioned nano trends. I'm a big fan of those, both as a chronically online content consumer, but also as a person creating content for a brand. Particularly when we talk about audio trends, I feel that if you have a small team, it's just so easy to hop on these audio trends, create some content, reach, a new audience and engage with your fans and all of these new audiences. Now, Ankita, in your experience, what makes a trend on TikTok stand out compared to trends on other platforms?
Yeah, so TikTok's ability and strength lies in its ability to like democratize like content creation. So like allowing anyone. So it's like whether it's a small creator with just like few hundred followers to a well-established brand, everyone has a chance to go viral. And this encourages the diverse content we have and enables the trends to emerge organically. To succeed, our brands and advertisers need to really act very quickly and make sure they align their campaigns with these emerging trends. This means like very closely monitoring the platform and seeing, what is like, being willing to experiment a bit with different content formats, just like which resonate well with our TikTok audience. So one interesting cross platform influence fact is that over 200K posts or like TikTok specific subreddits were originated in 2023, which showcases TikTok's influence not just on our platform, but even beyond on platforms such as Reddit, Meta, Pinterest, and more. And in this particular slide, you see the example of the earlier trend that I defined. So for trend moments, you have this trend moment for airy leggings, where a singular viral moment sparked like a huge engagement. So a creator actually published like a dancing video with hashtag airy leggings, resulting in the virality of the product selling out. And Airy as a brand was able to act quickly and adjusted its strategy to capitalize on this movement, turning to from what started like to a small, short-lived viral video into real sales. The next, for trend signals, we have an example of how community commerce is sparking innovations, brands, product strategy. So a company like EOS Lip Balm embraced this viral movement when TikTok creators began showcasing their products, causing a real surge in their sales. So by aligning their strategy with what was trending, EOS managed to drive consistent sales with the UGC content being published out there on TikTok as a platform. Thirdly, we have trend forces. So TikTok has contributed really significantly in shifting community dynamics. So rather than, broad and mainstream audiences, TikTok has really nurtured these niche and intimate and fluid communities where users are coming and feeling more connected with the content they are consuming. So this shift towards more personalized and specific subculture has created a long-lasting impact. As an example, we have hashtag skin influencers. So those are specifically users on TikTok which specialize in skincare routine. So users are actively following them, and this has really transformed the way the brands in the beauty industry are operating, pushing major skincare advertisers to adapt the marketing strategy to more intimate and niche content.
I love that you mentioned these viral trend moments. I think every marketer can think of a very famous case from last year with the Stanley Cup. And it all started with one video of how a woman's beverage stayed still cold with ice cubes still inside after her car, where the Stanley Cup was in, burned down. And I've never seen such a craze for Stanley Cup after, an event like that. There were like people lining up in the morning just to be the first people, to purchase a new Stanley Cup. So I think that's just an incredible moment of how something on TikTok just sparks this big movement and like the need for a product. Now, I kind of already mentioned that, but I guess TikTok is often seen as the epicenter of viral trends, but do these trends also go beyond the TikTok platform itself?
Yes, so TikTok has truly become this focal point of trends, so not only influencing the traditional social channels you might have, but expanding far beyond that. To give you a sense of TikTok's influence, so the word trend and TikTok appeared 1.57 million in the news headlines in 2022, and which showcases the platform's undeniable like cultural relevance. So for brands engaging with these, trending moments, they have an opportunity to unlock invaluable insights and enhance their audience engagement that form a sense of authenticity and connection with their users. A recent example of this is the trend around demure. So please leave a comment or emoji in the chat if you have seen this. But we had, we've seen like a lot of TikTok content, email, newsletter, and brands really capitalizing on these insights, which created like a crucial moment for brands to jump on. The one thing to consider though, as you see like the third cross in this chart, is to make sure you're jumping on the trend timely and not a time when it can cause like oversaturation. So you don't want to be one of like the one among the noise, but the first ones to jump on it. So ability to analyze the trends at the right time is the key.
I love that you mentioned the demure example. And if you guys thought that you're late to Breath Summer, then demure is definitely, it's already gone. It was there for like 2 weeks. And I've been in marketing for almost a decade now. And I mean, most of it in social. It's always been a fast-paced industry to be in, but I think TikTok really changed the game. So not only did it bring, new content formats for us, vertical video was pretty much a no-go a few years ago only. With TikTok, there's also the challenge of staying on top of these trends, but also, with great challenges, there are great opportunities. So with that, let's segue into talking about data. So what else can marketers do with these trends? Are there any data points that marketers can take from trend signals?
Yes, so this is where TikTok's API for business and Supermetrics as a platforms comes into play. So we are working towards having these insights available to you early next year. And once you have access to these data-driven insights, you'll be able to exactly pinpoint and seize these trends to align more with your brand's identity. So imagine having the ability to do like identify trend, to discover and monitor topics in real time and stay ahead of the curve. Secondly, you can align your overall content strategy and campaign planning, ideation, and optimization to make sure you're pivoting strategies very quickly to get that quick ROI. We've also seen a use case, the early insights showcase of these trends being used for product development. So making sure that you actually capitalize on these topic insights to inform your product designs, your formulation, your service offerings to your users. You can use these insights to kind of engage with the audience and make sure you're targeting the right one by understanding what's the context behind the previous similar hashtag or different creators or content that was published out there. There's also an opportunity with these insights that we are planning to deliver to do creator collaboration. So it will make your life easier to identify and partner with the right creators who are already engaging with these trending topics and amplifying your brand search and reach and credibility. So it's not just being part of a conversation, but it's about leading it through these right data and insights. Next, I want to just like showcase the power that you can, harness with both earned and in these industry trends that we're talking about. So it really creates like a balance of the intersection of trending topics about you as a brand and then what's happening in the industry. And they both create an opportunity to like reach new audiences and promote new products and potentially even going viral on TikTok. So making sure you align your paid and organic strategies with these insights that will be coming through will ensure that you have a cohesive like brand storytelling while engaging in meaningful conversation with your users. The success metrics, which you could potentially, I think that's one of the big struggles when it comes to insights like this. We have seen like three different pillars which you can actually use to like, tie it back to the insights that you pull through. The first one being engagement metrics. So engagement rate, the UGC content being created once you launch certain campaign, what was the watch time impact. The second pillar we have is reach metrics, so anything to do with number of views impacted before and after you launch something, the share of voice changes, the website traffic. So that's like all offline data. And increase like in brand related search queries. So in natively, how has the TikTok search trend gone up or down after you've launched and after participating in the trend? Lastly, we have a pillar of conversion metrics. So anything to do with conversion rate, your CTR, what was the sales impact and stock selling out in stores, physical stores, and even like, foot traffic increase are some ways which you can attribute back to these insights that you're pulling up. So just to wrap this all up, the key is to turning these TikTok trends into business results, which like while making sure they're authentic and timely right. So by understanding these conversations on the platform and leveraging tools like Supermetrics and TikTok API for business, you can make sure as a brand that you can stay ahead of the trends and engage meaningfully while ultimately driving impactful business outcomes.
That is so interesting, and I'm certain so useful for marketers. I'm particularly interested in the engagement metrics and how they go kind of from online even to offline, like the how TikTok trends can inform stock in brick and mortar stores, for example. So, here in Finland, even we have stores where shops have separate shelves, with trending on TikTok or as seen on Book Talk. So I'm pretty sure that retailers that have these kind of shelves, they can definitely utilize these TikTok trend signals for, understanding how to stock their products then. But Yeah, this is super exciting, and I'm really looking forward to getting more of these data insights over. Um, do we have anything else to cover, Ankita? I think any closing remarks?
No closing, but I feel like we have few questions in the chat. I'm happy to like take those up and kind of talk through them. So it
Yes.
talks about, we have a question which says, how do you think of TikTok trends influences mainstream culture and marketing strategy? So I think we briefly touched upon it, but we see this ripple effect happening where TikTok is at the epicenter of a trend, and then the same content is either repurposed or like some creators are creating a duet version of it in the other channels, and there's a ripple effect which happens. We've seen a number of examples of this. So we do feel like there's an influence happening, even not only just like online channels, but also channels like marketing hoarding that you see on the road, right? So there is like a lot of impact, and we see that trend happening. In terms of other questions we had, what makes certain content creators and trends go viral on TikTok compared to other platforms? I think the key thing there is the way our algorithm is defined, which just gives an opportunity like for any creator or band to grow viral. It's about how the audience is reacting to it organically. So it's not just about defining XYZ metric. This is your standard formula, but just keep engaging and making sure it's being very very relevant. Things change super fast, I would say, on TikTok as a platform. So having that always on strategy is always key, I feel. Next, we have a question around, is EGC getting more popular than CGC? Are hashtags going out of fashion? I'm not 100% sure about that question, but I can move on to the next one. What's the most surprising TikTok trend you've seen gaining traction? What do you think resonated with users? I think like just talking about I saw a recent example of a brand where like a creator in UK, so this is a clothing brand I'm talking about. They had like a small $5 purse, and a creator in UK talked about it like with just like she had I think 4,000 followers, and then the purse, which is not a brand like the apparel brand they're known for, just went viral, and they actually did 15 times sales than they expected to. And then the same trend repeated itself in a country like Japan, which was very surprising, right? So, but just given that they kept an impulse on what was the trend happening, they were able to make sure they don't have like negative customer satisfaction of the purse being sold out. So I think the ability for trend to like multiply in different regions and just, going just like surprising a brand and impacting the sales significantly in the recent days has surprised me. Um, yeah, those are a few questions I wanted to cover.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Ankita, for sharing your insights and expertise with us. We've covered a lot today. And for everyone tuning in, I hope you found the session valuable and that you're excited to go onto TikTok and seize the opportunities that the platform offers for you. So before we wrap up, if you have any further questions, feel free to reach out to Ankita or me on LinkedIn, and we're going to pass the mic back to Alex and Jess. Thank you so much.
Welcome back, everybody, for the last time into our beautiful SuperSummit studio. And thank you, Ankita and Chris, for that amazing session. But based on what was going on in chat, it seems like I need to have a dance off with Zach now. So we'll see if we can make that happen. Zach, I don't know, you got to brush up on your skills, man. I think I get you beat there. But wow, I mean, what a day it's been, right, Jess?
Oh my God, it really has been. What a blast. We had such an amazing lineup of speakers this year. I know I learned so much. I hope you all learned so much. I hope you learned so much.
I learned a lot of things. A lot of things.
A lot of things.
Absolutely. And thank you so much again for all of our speakers, partners, and attendees for making SuperSummit 2024 such a success.
Before we wrap up, we have one bit of excitement. The announcement of our community raffle winners that Alex will be reading off now.
All right, absolutely. So congratulations. We have done the raffle and we've picked 5 winners at random. I hope the community team actually recorded the screen. They used this cool wheel to raffle it, so hopefully they recorded their screen. So there's actually proof that these were chosen at random. But our winners are, first one, Matias Priani from Argentina. Congratulations. By the way, if I mispronounce somebody's name, please forgive me. I'm doing my best here.
That's why I passed it to Alex.
Thanks, Jess. Next up, Camilo Arroyave from Colombia. Congratulations. Number 3, we have Ikram Bechari from Finland.
We saw you in the chat. We hope you're still here.
Matthias is also there.
Matthias is also.
And Ikram, there we go. Everybody's here.
Congratulations.
Congrats. So that was number 3. Number 4 is Marnie Powell from Canada. Congratulations. And last but not least, Beth Chenette from the United States. Congratulations to all of our winners. You have each won that $50 gift card. Our team will be in touch with you and get your prizes sent out. Congrats once more.
And for those of you who didn't win, don't worry. There will be plenty more of these opportunities to get involved. If you get involved with the Supermetrics community, our community team is amazing. They are always running raffles and prizes. Make sure you join. And yeah.
Yeah. Joy says best event ever. Thank you, Joy. Remember, like on that note about the community, that's your place to go to connect with other data-driven marketers, to learn new skills, and keep up to date on all things Supermetrics. So
to get this content.
And to get the content.
And to get this content.
All the content will be in there. So if you missed a session, joined late, had to leave early, do go there and check it out.
Amazing. But with that, we'd like to thank you all again for joining us today and for spending time listening to our speakers, engaging in the chat, hanging out in our lounges. We hope you enjoyed Super Summit 2024.
Until next time, keep on measuring, keep on learning, and keep on growing.
We're out of here.
See you next year. Woo!
Okay.
I'm only here for the party. Just